So, you have started your career in human-centered design. What you thought was a career that would be all about creativity, passion, and making the world a better place feels more like a stressful, violent world where everyone is challenging your work instead of faithfully creating what you have designed. Does that sound familiar? Well, that's because you might be looking at it the wrong way. Please, sit down, have a drink. I'm Peter Zuidema, but you can call me ZTR. And let's talk about how your work and how your knowledge, and it all fits in the grand scheme of things. I have been and still am on your side, but with a different perspective. Not only have I done a lot of development in the past, both front-end and back-end, but I have also felt the implications of designs being delivered to me to implement. I have also been leading teams and projects where I was responsible for the timelines and budgets of both small and large projects. For most of my career, I have, just like you, been designing for users, creating usable and accessible designs, and fighting to have my voice heard. One good thing that comes from being older and having a large number of years under my belt is that I can share some of my experiences with you, and how in the end, they made me love this work even more than I ever did. So, got your drink? Well, put those feet up on the table, relax, and let's talk. First of all, it is so good to talk to a fellow designer and a human-centered design professional. This is a field where you can really make a difference and can create designs that click, are accessible, and prevent users from making mistakes and getting frustrated. People are in awe of your creativity and your perfect reusable designs. Developers love you and cling to every word you say, and the product owner praises all the work you do because it all brings the team together. Yeah, I might have had one drink too many as well. Chances are, reality for you is quite different, but don't worry, you are not alone. Hey, I've been there. And I've seen many designers, even very good ones, be overwhelmed and give up in frustration and anger. From the would-be UX designers at my college in the early 1990s, back when it was still simply called interaction design, during the time of emerging new technology called the internet, I am one of the only ones still active in the field from that class. And you know what? I love the work. Believe me, I know all the frustrations that you are experiencing. I still experience them daily, but I have learned to what frustrates me from the perspective of the other members of my team. And that changed my mind completely and made me better at my job. I'm not saying that the solution to your frustrations will go away by taking the steps that I did, but you might pick up a few things from my experiences so that you don't have to go through the struggles that I did to get to the same place. So, you are working in a team now. That means, as you well know, that there are others on your team who are professionals in their own field. Sure, your miles may vary in the professional part, but the first step of feeling comfortable with your role is accepting that everyone else on your team has their own role to play. And yours is as follows. You're the only advocate for the user. You design the interface, the layer of sanity between what the business demands and what the developers create and what the user interacts with. And you are the only one who understands the user. That is your role. Even if others on your team have experience designing UIs, if they are not the UX or UI designer on the project, you are the one who serves as the guiding beacon for the user. And that is your most important task. Own that role. But you also have to believe in it. Don't convince others. You have to convince yourself about your own expertise first. In the beginning, this can be hard because you're still trying to navigate the landscape of your new team. But keep in mind, everyone brings their own experience to the team. Everyone is accountable for their own work. That is why you need to believe in yourself and know that you are the one in the team with the experience in designing for users. Because if you doubt yourself, others in your team will notice that. And they will not know if they can trust your capabilities. That sounds unfair, but by now you have noticed that software development is quite a high-pressure environment with limited budgets and even tighter deadlines. There's barely time for hello before people expect you to deliver. The pushback from others on your team is more about survival tactics. Since everyone is accountable for their own work, everyone needs to be able to rely on others to deliver. The developers will wait for you to deliver, just like QA waits for them to provide their work to be tested. Your project manager is pressuring everyone to get their job done because the product owner is breathing down their necks, who, in turn, has to report to the business while receiving feedback that 20% of the budget is being cut and the new deadline is next week instead of in 6 months. That is what is so important to understand. Everyone is under pressure. The only problem is that you are the first in line to deliver. So right from the start, everybody will be looking at you. But don't worry, this is what you have trained for and what you and only you can do. Know that. Like I said before, believe it. Yes, people will pressure you to deliver your stuff, but just like with everyone else, it takes time to do your work and to do it correctly. And if everything has gone as planned, you have provided your estimated hour for completing your tasks. You did, right? You provided an honest estimate of how long you would think it would take, right? And not trying to impress your team by giving fewer hours than you would honestly think it would take, right? We will talk about estimation in a future video as it requires much more detail to understand how that is the key to making your life less stressful. But for right now, it is essential to understand your place in the team. You know those skills you have, like no one else on your team, about understanding the user and what influences them. Have you ever considered applying those same analytical skills to others on your team? That developer who appears so headstrong and intimidating. Have you ever figured out why that is? You do this process for all your users all the time to figure out what makes them most productive and work without obstacles. Well, this is the time to apply this to yourself and to your team and analyze what's going on. Because you might think that the developer might be difficult, but that maybe that person has a good reason why they are that way. Maybe a previous designer was not able to do their work, which caused problems. Maybe there was no other designers and they had to take on that work as well, increasing their workload. And most of all, it would help if you understood the pressure and challenges a developer faces in bringing your designs to life. Maybe a design you delivered caused them to increase their estimated time to complete a task, which would have been halved if you had chosen a different solution that simply would still have worked. So talk to your team members, get to know them, and by doing that, they will get to know you as well. And that will build trust. Show them empathy, and they will get it to you as well. It might go slowly at first, but it will work out and take away the edge you feel and lower the pressure significantly. If you know their challenges and they understand yours, you will have each other's backs. Alright, that was all chill and fatherly advice, but now comes the horror story. Yes, it is important to design for the user because if the user cannot work with the product, it is a failure. But if your developers do not know how to bring your designs to life, your product might have a nice design, but a poor execution, leading to a poor usability and a failing product. But there's also the elephant in the room. Everyone in the team will complain about the business. Their demands will be outrageous, they want the stars, but their budget only allows them the moon, and their time frame barely allows them to leave the atmosphere. Still, they are the ones paying for all of this. And although some businesses have unlimited funding but simply might not want to spend more, many others do not have that financial backing, and the product might be a make or break for them. They are that invisible team member that everyone likes to complain about, the business. But remember, they are still a team member, and they hold the money and the keys to your product. You might not like it, but without them, there would not be a product after all. Nothing for the users to work with. Period. Don't become the person on the team who complains about the business, a lack of budget or time. The business provides the sandbox for you to play in. Now it is up to you to make the most of the time and the budget assigned to you. That is my advice to you. Learn to know the levels of your skills. Promise yourself to always deliver good work. But with more time and budget, you can deliver great work, amazing work, or even a show-stopping marvel of UX galore. And then tell yourself which of these levels you can provide for the budget and time available to you. It might be beneficial if you sat down with some of your developers before the project to set up a plan for how you can all work together to make it all go smoothly. Your project manager will thank you for that one too. Fitting in with your team and understanding your role in the whole machine is just one step of making your career feel like a comfortable pair of years-old sneakers. But don't expect it to all change overnight. Before you know it, showing empathy to your own team members, understanding the role your business plays in all of this, while not forgetting to design and stand up for your users, will make you a highly valued member in the team. But most of all, and this is the most important lesson I can give you, you can do this. You know this. And you own this. We will dive so many more times into all the kinds of challenges and tips, tricks to help you in your human-centered design career. But at this moment, I will wrap it up for today. I hope you enjoyed it and feel more confident about the stressful situation you might feel you are in right now. Keep in mind, this is an opportunity to grow as a designer and become the person on your team who controls it, understands it, and just feels like you have it all. Sure, it might take a moment for everything to come together, but that comes with any job in any field. Feel free to reach out. Let me know your challenges, your solutions, and how you have grown into your career. And most of all, and I cannot stress this enough, subscribing to this channel absolutely increases your status in the HCD field and has others just in awe just to be working on the same team and project with you. Yes, all that success just one click on the subscribe button away. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.